Ooh. Yeah, perfect.
Enough headroom?
Yeah, everybody might be wondering where you are.
Well, they are wondering. I'm wondering where I are. You guys, instead of doing a practice session, we set this up. Ray, you're going to go ahead with Facebook now.
I am. I'm going to post.
Ray's going to go ahead and get this working on Facebook, so people who are used to seeing us on Tuesday, they come to Facebook because that's where we used to do this on Facebook Live. So he's working on getting that set up right now, and it takes just a few minutes so that we don't lose the first part of this video for everyone watching it on Facebook, that he's going to get that working first, okay? And any of you who are on Facebook, or friends that come through Facebook, there's going to be a link there where you can click on it and join us on Zoom.
I already put it up.
All right. Is it working now, Ray?
It should be. Hold on. Fetching the video stream. It's fetching.
Yeah, we spend about a minute doing this, right, Ray?
There we go.
Great. Hi, you guys. I'm Linda Deir, and
I'm Ray Holley.
and today is June 5th, Tuesday, June 5th. Are we still going, Ray?
It's still setting it up.
Okay, so we're not live on Facebook yet, Ray?
That's, yeah.
Okay.
We'll be
So
shortly.
give us just a second, you guys.
We don't want anybody to miss
We're
anything.
going to intro that again.
Sure.
All right, there we are. Okay, I'm Linda Deir, and
I'm Ray Holley.
we played that twice now, you guys.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks for hanging in there with us.
Don't you look nice? What's on your shirt?
This is a
A lion.
lion, isn't that?
Oh,
Ray got me this shirt.
that's cool.
He loves this shirt. It's got that Leo energy.
It's a Leo lion thing. Since we're both Leos.
Okay, I'm going to get us started today, okay? Each week in Linda's weekly guided insights, I ask my guides, what's the most important thing for you guys to know right now? We channel these insights the same way your guides interact with you in a personal coaching session with me. All coaching sessions are done with you on live video or over the phone. Now you're putting those links in, right?
I already did.
Okay. I'm the author of Guided, winner of the 2017 Body, Mind, Spirit Book Award. My Guided Journey is the companion journal to Guided. It's my 4th book, and this is the work in progress version available as a free download on my website at lindadeir.com. And Ray went ahead and provided that link. He's provided all these links because he's so efficient
I'm so ahead of my time.
into the chat. So you'll see that come up, you guys. Just if you want to click on those links, go ahead and take a look. Tonight, the guides will be answering your questions about doubt knocks out intuition. This was published today in Linda's weekly guided insights. As I'm reading the insight, listen to the messages you will be getting. Feel what that feels like. Write your realizations into part 3 of my guided journey, because this is all guidance. After I finish reading this insight, we will be taking your questions and comments. And you'll put those in the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen. You'll click on that and put your questions and comments in there. And when Ray sees those, he's going to select what he sees and feels like, it'd be a good thing to talk about, and he's going to open the mic up for you to talk, all right?
It's just like in school when they raise their hand.
It is, Ray. Yeah. Okay. You will get to talk directly to your guides about what this insight means in your life right now. When you get that information, write it down in part 3 of your journal. Keep track of it, because over the course of time, you're going to see how this starts to connecting the dots in your journal in part 3, how it starts to make sense of your life. Okay, so I'm going to read Linda's weekly guided insight that came out today called Doubt Knocks Out Intuition. What comes first, fear or doubt? It's like the chicken and the egg. When you look at fear, it's fueled by the media the people around you, and some from yourself. Fear is more externally triggered than doubt. Doubt is triggered internally by your thoughts. The thoughts you have are based on the beliefs you carry. Anytime someone comes along and threatens your beliefs, the first reaction is to defend them and attack. What does that accomplish? He has his beliefs that he's defending, and you have yours. And let's throw a wrench into the process. What if he's wrong about what he believes? And what if you are wrong about yours? You must start to question everything. Everything you hear about, read about, see, and what people tell you. What if it's not true? What if it was made up for societal propaganda purposes to keep you in the dark and fearful? If left unchecked, this doubt that triggers you internally can grow into a feeling that you are not good enough. The doubt derails your life and prevents you from making clear decisions. This is even more damaging than being fearful, because you can many times get away from the fear just by changing your environment. Doubt is an inside job, and that's why it's a different matter. It's hard to escape doubt. When you look at it under a microscope, doubt is the excuse for not listening to your intuition, your higher self, or us. Many people, even when they do listen, still have doubts about the guidance they have been receiving. They postpone acting on it while they think it over, running it through their doubt filters. They say things like, well, it might be true, but maybe not for me. Or, it would take such a long time to do that. Or, it would take too much work. So doubt becomes the driver of procrastination in all areas of your life. As you follow the procrastination path, you get nowhere. So what do? You must help yourself first. Like the oxygen mask on a plane, you can't assist anyone else until you first help yourself. Picture yourself putting the oxygen mask on and breathing clearly and fully. The clean, clear breath is wiping out all doubt that you have accumulated. Each time you feel doubt slipping in, mentally put that oxygen mask on and breathe. Now, once you have doubt under control, look at the guidance we are sending you at face value. Do not read anything into it, because that could keep you from taking action on it right now. If you allow doubt to continue controlling your life, you will discover that eventually it could evolve into fear. Summary. Which comes first, fear or doubt? What is it that triggers in each one of you? In order to think clearly and eliminate doubt, you must do your mental exercise. Breathe in clean, clear air. I just have to breathe, just breathing that. How it works. Just like a chess game, a conquest of taking over control. When doubt knocks out intuition, fear will gain control over your life. Fear becomes something you default into as a result of doubt wearing you down. If you are ready to take control back so your intuition can start to work, I have 3 suggestions. Practice breathing, start journal writing, and join us on Tuesdays. To begin, find a quiet place to do these 2 things for 15 minutes a day. This practice will produce surprising results quickly. Join us on Tuesday. where you can interact with us, your guides, and other like-minded people. Okay, Ray Holley. Now let's finish this. And I think I mentioned that put your questions and your comments in the Q&A box at the bottom. Ray's going to notice that they're there.
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet. And
Don't be bashful.
okay, and we're going to talk about the topic that Ray and I back and forth. You guys just go ahead and put your questions in there. And as soon as we see them, Ray will open up the mic so you can talk out loud with us, all right? And so.
Well, the country is well represented. Each area, we have Texas is here. Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, good.
Central America is here. Florida and Colorado.
Great, you guys. Well, don't be afraid to talk about how we want to know about, your guides want to know, and they want to help you. Your guides are going to be communicating with you tonight, like we always do on Tuesdays. They are going to be helping you understand where doubt is interfering with your intuition. It's interrupting your life, all right? And it's keeping your guides from reaching you, from being able to reach you, because when you're in doubt, you're clogged up, you're consumed with all these questions and insecurities, and your guides can't reach you when you're in that state. It's like you're going like this, you're missing each other. So this right here with us on Tuesdays is the time when you can, through us, override this missing, where you're missing this connection, and we connect you so that you can communicate directly with your guides, ask your question, put out your comment, your thought, whatever it happens to be. Your guides feel your energy, and they will speak with you about what they see that you need to know right now that would move you along more productively and in a more fulfilled way, all right?
So I had some notes while you were speaking.
Okay.
There. You said doubt is triggered internally by your thoughts. Your thoughts are based on the beliefs you carry around. So when someone comes along and threatens your beliefs, the first reaction is to defend your beliefs and attack their beliefs. So my question,
even if you don't do it out loud, if you don't express it and you hold it inside, if you're still doing it internally, you're still doing it, all right?
so two-part question. Why is it so easy to attack somebody else's beliefs? And why is it so difficult to think that yours could be wrong?
Well, the first question. Why is it such a knee-jerk reaction? I'm going to reword the phrase that you said.
Yeah.
Why is it such a knee-jerk reaction to respond with a defensive response? Okay. I mean, that's what we do. We don't mean to do it, but we do it automatically. It comes from our childhood. It comes from the beginning of our life when we stumbled through it in the beginning, and we were kind of stubborn about being right or being heard or being respected or taken seriously. That's a lot of it. You're not used to being heard. That's a big part of it. So when people just kind of shrug you off, and you'll notice you're starting to talk louder. You'll notice that you're starting to repeat yourself because people aren't listening. So it starts it's in that vein where it begins, and it comes from the early part of your life. It starts when you're a toddler, is really where it starts. That's where my guided journey, that's why I wrote this book. When people read, most of you have read my flagship book, Guided. When people have read Guided and they want more, they want to learn how to do what I've learned. That's why I wrote this, because they hounded me. They wouldn't stop asking me, how do I make this connection with my guides? And it's in using this journal right here, taking the journey in part 2 and the journal writing, what's going on in your day-to-day life in part 3, your dreams and everything like that, that will start to clear the air for you and get a handle on the doubt and the insecurity and the procrastination And this knee-jerk response that we tend to act out because because it comes from when we first started out in this life. This shows you where it happened. So you can then go, okay, wait a second. I felt that it hit me, and I wanted to, pounce on that situation and stop that person and, react. You give yourself a chance to not say a thing. You sit back and you let this part of you come through, the real you, the you who first came here, your guidance, your higher self. Instead of letting this reactive part of you, this earthbound part of you that thinks this is all there is, jump in there with its ego and defend you, Let this part start to participate. You have to breathe so that this doesn't jump in so quickly, all right? Giving this a chance to start acting, not reacting. That's not helping you. That's what you've been doing. Now you need to take action and stop reacting. All right. So what do we have, Ray?
Well, everybody's appearing on the screen here. Let's see here.
Well, I see a beautiful girl right there. Who do we have?
That's Teresa.
That's Nicole.
No, Nicole's up here. We're waiting for Nicole to.
Well, Nicole's up there. That's Teresa.
Teresa.
Oh,
right.
Teresa, you look so beautiful tonight. Oh my
Okay. Turn your microphone on.
Turn your mic on, Teresa.
Turn your microphone on.
Yeah.
There.
Wait a minute. Did I do it? Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Perfect.
And
Hi.
Nicole,
You look beautiful too.
Oh,
Both of you.
I like your room. That's an awesome background.
Thank you. That's the orange is my son's young man's suite.
Wow.
The young
That's
man's
it. We're at opposite ends of the house. Yeah.
That is great. I love that.
Okay, Nicole, go ahead and open up your microphone. There.
Can she hear us?
I don't know.
You might have to put it into the...
No, she's okay.
Okay.
And Stacy, go ahead and open up. There. I saw your hand, Stacy.
Oh, hi.
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Do you have your mic? Do you have your camera on?
Oh, wait.
There you are.
Oh,
Let's see.
Stacy. Oh, Stacy.
We can hear you. We can't see you yet.
Yeah, we're
Okay. Oh, wait.
desperately seeking Stacy.
We see a shadow.
You see me? You see a shadow.
We see a shadow.
I'm here.
Getting closer.
Oh, well, I don't know where. Hold on. Maybe I need to turn the light on.
Maybe.
Oh.
Okay, hold on.
There.
This is a new tang. Oh, there I am.
Oh, I love those glasses.
Oh, there she is. Hi, Stacy.
Now we have to find Nicole.
Yeah, Ray's on a search here. This is like the Brady Bunch,
Yeah, over here looks like the Brady Bunch.
What do you guys see? Do you just see us or do you see everybody?
I only see you.
Only see us. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we get the opportunity to see all these beautiful
I
things.
see everyone.
There we go. Now we're waiting for Nicole.
Nicole, put your beautiful face up there, honey.
Turn your camera on, Nicole.
Here, it's muted.
I know
Unmuted.
it's no. That's if I want to mute.
Oh.
So we can hear you and you can ask your questions.
What do we have there, Ray?
Just Teresa saying hi, and Nicole has a comment.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Anybody want to ask a question first? Up, Stacy. There you go.
Oh, nope, not me.
No,
You don't have a question yet? Well, you will.
you will.
And I'll tell you what. Now, Stacy, all you have to do is regarding today's topic, which is doubt knocks out intuition. All you have to do is just ask your guides, what do I need to know? What's the most important thing for me to know in my life right now about today's topic? And they will help each one of you understand what they see specific to each one of you, to you individually, about what it is that where you guys need to make like a little course correction or something that they've been trying to get through to you, but there's been a disconnect, and they're going to help you understand how to open that up so that you're not missing anymore. You're connecting with them, okay? All right?
Okay.
So just feel free to ask. That's a simple question, but it's not a leading question, and it gets really great results, you know, when people ask that form of question. So who wants to start?
And we have a new Janine join us. Hi, Janine.
Janine.
We see you down there. If you want to turn your camera on.
And your
There you are. Turn your microphone on, okay?
There she is. Oh, hi, Janine.
Unmuted.
There
There
she
you go.
is.
Hi.
Hi, Janine.
Hello.
We have a nice group of people tonight, and Nicole's still looking for her ability
Oh, yeah.
to just let us.
We're waiting for Nicole to
Come
come back,
on.
but that's okay.
Okay, so go ahead. We were talking, Janine, about tonight's topic is doubt knocks out intuition, and your guides, each one of your guides, are going to talk to you individually about where doubt in your individual lives is knocking out the intuition that's always available to you. But, you know, we get in the way of it. We get in the way of it with maybe the stress of the day or just, you know, thinking about everything all the time, and we don't leave any room in our minds or ourselves for that special connection to connect with us and give us some really good direction, some good guidance. So I was saying earlier that a good question to ask is, what is it that my guides have to tell me about what I need to know right now regarding doubt and how doubt is getting in the way of my life, how it's interrupting my life, how it's in the way of my connection to my guides and me, that type of thing. Because once you solve that, once you know how to make that connection again, you guys won't have any struggles. You won't have the problems you've had. You'll have challenges, but you won't have you won't be in resistance. You won't be resisting what's going on. You'll be fully engaged because you're going to have your guides by your side guiding you through it because the communication line is open to them. All right?
You know, you also talked about in the insight how fear is triggered from externally. How you're always being bombarded by fear, the news. There's always something to be afraid of. The weather, war, terrorism, shootings, you name it. It's all designed to make you fearful. But pretty soon, if you have enough of that, you start doubting. Well, I think the first doubt you have internally is, well, the world's not a good place.
You start to think weird things like that. And it's not true that the world is not a good place. It's that the way people want to control us that's not good, you know, and that's where it starts to, something's wrong with that. And that's what your gut's telling you, that something's wrong with that. And we interpret it as the world when really it's the mouthpiece. It's that news station, that radio station, that, you know, that commentator, whatever it is. It's something out there trying to convince you of something. So go ahead and start with your questions, you guys. Bring them on.
And here's Nicole. Nicole came back. Now we
Can you actually hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me?
Sure.
Awesome. Sorry, the other thing wasn't working. I was trying to get in and it cut me off.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Okay. So do we have anybody that stepped up, Ray? Because once the
I had a question.
Okay. Go ahead.
Is that okay? So I told you before that I think that my fear actually led to my faith. I was kind of questioning what my reality was, and that kind of led me to realizing like that there's other things that are out there to get in touch with, and that we can have like, you know, faith in the things that we believe in, kind of be led down that journey in our life. The question that I have is, lately I feel like there's like been people that I've been meeting, like guy wise, like I've been single for a very long time, and I'm okay with being single. Like I don't feel like a sense of lack, or I don't feel a sense of needing anything in that particular area. I feel very content with who I am because I know who I am. But it's almost like I'm getting teased a little bit. Like people will kind of come into my life or I'll meet somebody, and then it's like all of a sudden, like we're not going to meet, or there's no connection there or something. Like it's very like strange. So like I'm at that age where I'm wondering whether or not I'm going to meet somebody significant.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Mhm.
I saw your comment in the Q&A that you said the fear in your life led to your faith.
Yes.
Go back a little bit, and do you remember your first fear?
Yes, actually, I remember. I was scared of. We lived by the beach, and there were these crabs. And the first thing I ever remember being very scared of was these crabs, because there was this black sand. And when we used to drive by them, my sister I was on the back of a beach cruiser. You know, they had the kid seats, like for like, I don't know, toddlers. And I remember being so scared of the black sand because those crabs would always like crawl underneath there. And like, I think it was just like the fear of the unknown, like, you know what I mean? So I was so scared to walk on top of black sand for such a long time in my life.
So it was fear of something
That you couldn't see.
Correct.
But those fears, those types of fears led to your faith, and faith in itself is belief in something you can't see.
Correct.
Isn't
Yeah,
that it?
I believe in it, that we all have a higher purpose, that we're not just here for our own good. Like we're here to evolve. We're here to.
On one hand, you were afraid of something that you couldn't see, and on the other hand, you believed in something you couldn't see. Where's the difference? What do you think?
I think growth, experience, you know, you mature as you get older, and you start to take those steps of, you know, believing and then seeing the results of that faith.
So my interpretation of what Nicole's explaining,
Mhm.
and then we're going to let your guides talk to you, because
Okay.
after all, they're with you all the time, and they know you better than anybody knows you, all right? But my interpretation is the faith came in when the fear couldn't be resolved any other way. You used the faith to overshadow, to overpower the fear that was dominating your life.
Yes.
So you came up with the solution yourself. You figured it out on your own. How old were you when you did that?
Honestly, I can't remember. I remember making sure that, like, you know, I wore shoes and, like, you know, like I don't know. I can't actually remember.
Yeah, you were really young, Nicole.
Yeah.
So you
She's
came up.
still young.
But yeah, you came up with a solution to this issue because you couldn't let fear be your guiding light. That's why you did it. You had to have a guiding light that made some sense. This fear did not make sense. It was too extreme, you know. So your guides are going to talk to you about what they see in this regard for you. All right. So here they go, Nicole. Your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, and they're going to tell you what they see. And of course, they know you better than anybody. So here they go.
Hello, Nicole. It's interesting that you had fear or fears in things you couldn't see. Many times people, until they see something, do they even believe in it? It's more important to feel things. How do you feel about certain things, whether you can see them or not? Once you get past any initial fears or non-beliefs, and you can feel something in your heart, only then can you really trust in it and believe it fully.
Yeah. I mean, as you guys were like saying that, it was like, yeah, like I always get these, like, I don't know, I can only describe it as like sweet whispers. Like,
Whispers.
yeah, it was like, it's like sweet whispers to your heart or something that makes you have that gut feeling of,
You
and
know, you
yeah,
I know. Exactly. And it feels like that. It feels like you just all of a sudden know it. And it's something that's so easy. The instant you get it, it feels so accurate. You know it's right, but you will miss it and you will lose it if you don't write it in here. In My Guided Journey, if you don't write it into part 3, it will, just like when you take a shower and you have something, that guidance that comes through, or a really good idea that comes through. You're in the shower. You can't write it down. So what you do is you say it out loud 3 times. You say it out loud. Whoever's in the house might think that you've lost it, okay? But don't worry about them. Say it out loud 3 times, and then when you get out of the shower, have your journal there so you can jot it down. Just even if you put shorthand in there, a couple key words, that once you're dried off, you can come back and go, oh yeah, I remember what that was, and then write it out. That it's really important.
It's funny you say that. Like I have like all these notes here as I was like when I journaled today.
That's what's going to put you in touch with your guidance and really give you an advantage. I mean, a serious advantage. When you need the guidance, you'll know how to just stop and breathe and just let it come to you. Don't chase it. You can't chase it. You can't command it. You can, but you've got to release it. You've got to allow it,
Yeah, I've realized that I'm not in control, but I also need to stay very much in touch with my guides. The only one issue that I have lately as far as fear is I'm 35. And so at this age, I don't have any kids. I'm not married. And I'm on like a different trajectory than the majority of guys that are in my age range. So I always just kind of question. I know that like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and the right person eventually will come along, and that's what it will be.
Right.
But it's kind of this very in between age of like, are you gonna have kids? Are you gonna it's a societal pressure, but it's still a question that you do ask yourself.
Well,
and I have,
what happens, Nicole, is you're 35 and you have reached this age without experiencing some of the experiences and lessons that a lot of people have experienced already. All right, they've had kids, they've been in a marriage, they've been in a divorce or 2. I mean, they've been running through this thing, and you just didn't need to do that. You didn't feel inclined to do that. So at some point, you need to experience these things, right? So it's just that you didn't need to do it earlier. Now you're getting, to the point where you've got more life behind you, more experiences behind you. And when you do experience these things, whatever they might be, it might be having a kid, it might be having a marriage or a partnership, it might be having all of it, it might be having none of it. You might find out that life is pretty good the way it is, and you're free to do anything you want to do, and that you find things you like to do, and you're going to do them. And you just keep doing what you're doing, following your bliss, That's the key. Don't question it. Don't doubt what you're doing. If you're on your path, if you feel like you're on your path. Is Nicole on her path?
Most definitely. And how do you feel about what you call the right person? Do you have important criteria for this person?
Yes.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Tell us what it is.
Okay.
My criteria is I definitely have to have a man of faith, somebody who's willing to do this, to do this journey with me. That has to be
That's pretty
important.
broad. That's pretty broad. Everybody's on a journey, all right?
Well, no, like a man of faith, somebody who's going to be able to take this kind of journey, somebody who I can speak to about my guides, my angels, to be open with, somebody who's going to be the lead, somebody who's, I feel like I'm always the man. I'm both the man and the woman in a lot of the relationships. Like I'm the one who takes care of everything, and the man kind of just like sits back and doesn't really, I do the bills and all of it.
Okay, now remember something here. I'm going to get you on this because I'm an expert at what you're talking about. You picked these guys, and do you know why you picked them?
To help me evolve, to help, finish, this
Okay,
forming
now,
of our soul.
You're the man and the woman in those relationships, is how you described it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so since you're the man and the woman, you really don't need him because you got both sides covered all by yourself. He's there like a token man, kind of like he's there, but he's not really living up to what he needs to be to meet you where you are. And you keep picking these guys. See, you picked them, and I know because I did the same thing in my life. You picked them because you didn't trust them. You didn't trust them with you. You trusted yourself with yourself, okay? You never really met somebody you could trust with you. So you played man and woman in the relationship, and you picked someone weaker than you so that you could be in control and you could stay in control.
Yeah.
That's what you did. Now, until you've come along far enough, wherever that is, all right, you can only then can you pick somebody who's your equal, who gets where you're coming from, who doesn't insult you for your beliefs, may not completely jive with all your beliefs, but doesn't criticize you for them, and respects you for who you are, all right? That's somebody who's in their power. That's somebody who's strong. And they have their own set of beliefs and faith. And you guys have a lot in common, but you're always going to have things that are different just because of your separate life experiences, all right?
Yeah, and I'm willing to meet them there. Like I want to learn about that. And
until you're strong enough on your own, by yourself, and self-reliant in every way, will you be able to pick somebody who's your equal, you will trust to pick somebody who's your equal. You won't have to have someone weaker than you so you can control the relationship.
it's a very small pool out there of men.
but see, it's not that. There's some really good guys out there, Nicole. It's just that you're still a work in progress, putting it all together. And when you get it together, when you finally figure this all out, you feel secure enough in yourself, on your own, in every way. In other words, if something happened to him, whoever he happens to be, that's that perfect match for you, all right? Whenever you connect with this guy, if something happened to him, you'd move along in your life fully. I don't mean that you wouldn't miss him. I don't mean that you wouldn't love him, and all that. I just mean that you wouldn't be, you're strong on your own, okay? And then this person would be someone there that's strong with you. You'd be like this together. It wouldn't be like one person's leaning on the other or the other leaning on the other. You'd be strong together and individually, okay? So there's something about you where you've seen something in your life as you grew up. I know it happened when you grew up. That's where it happens for all of us. You grew up and you saw something and you went, no way. I'm not putting my life in the hands of something like that. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to do what I need for myself. And having a man in my life is going to be secondary to that, because I can't let myself, based on the guys you've been picking, You couldn't possibly put your life in their hands. Let's put it that way. You couldn't trust it that much because you're not picking somebody that's your equal because you're not ready for that. That's what's going on.
The conflict I have within is that I just have so much love and heart to give somebody that I want to share that. Like, I want to share this experience with them. Like, I want to go through this, and I want to love them. Like, you know, like.
And while we still don't have other questions from you guys, we're going with Nicole here. Okay, they're going to talk to you, Nicole.
If you have this strong desire to share experiences with someone else, you are more apt to get lessons from these other people. The reason you have wanted to be in control in a relationship is because you didn't fully trust them.
Right.
You can trust someone that you don't love, but you can't ever love someone you don't trust.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're getting there. Where you're at right now is you're seeing it now. You couldn't really see all this 5 years ago. You're seeing it now. So you're moving through it, Nicole. I will tell you this. Whoever it is that you pick as a standard in men, if you were to write down, the basic qualities of each one of these guys, you'd see a similar pattern going on, all right? It's going to change. I mean, you're going to change. And that's how come that's going to change. You're going to raise the bar as far as what you because what you accepted and allowed in your life before, it didn't have anything to do with them. It had everything to do with you.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're changing. You're raising the bar in your own life. You're getting stronger. You're knowing more about what you want. You're more sure about that. And that's where you're going to pick someone totally different than you've ever picked before. So be aware of that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and you want to keep writing it in your journal. Be sure to do that, Nicole. You cannot miss it if you write it in your journal, what's going on in your head, what's going on with your guidance, and what's going on in your life. It's all needs to be written in there, dated and tracked and kept in chronological order so you can connect the dots. Just in the course of 1 month, if you did this every single day, 15 minutes a day, your life will be different. In 1 month, you'll see things so much clearer. So, Ray, what else do we have here?
Well, we have...
Nicole, we love this. Stay with us.
Thank you, guys. Yes, very much.
Stacy, you're being awful quiet.
Can you hear me?
Sure.
We can hear you.
Well, I'm pretty new, so I'm just kind of getting the lay of the land. But I'm feeling like I've been ready for a long time, in the most complete way, in my heart and my soul, to have someone in my life, a special man in my life. And I just keep meeting these guys who don't get it. Like, I just can't explain it. They're just not on the same page. I just feel like I'm a freak of nature. Like, I can't explain myself. They don't get it. It's just like a waste of my time. I feel like I'm going to be, a lonely old cat lady.
Well, Stacy, you're talking to somebody here who's had almost 150 cats in his lifetime.
He rescued all of them, He's got sucker written on his forehead.
Yeah, I got one at the pound, and all the rest of them showed up at my house and brought all their friends.
Oh, nice.
See, it's that heart that I love so much. He's a good guy.
Oh, I love that.
I'm just gonna in regard to the session today, it's about how doubt knocks out intuition, right? So there's something going on with you. Remember, you guys, whatever we're working through, a relationship, money, work, family, whatever it happens to be, it all stems from us. We've got to look, here's the only place that we can make a difference. Everything out there, you don't have control over it, but you have control over this. And sometimes it feels like it's hard to believe that, like what you're saying, Stacy, they just don't get it, these guys.
Yeah.
And I know what you're talking about, and what's happening, there's an energy that you, Stacy, are putting off, that you're throwing out there. Your energy comes in the room first, and
Yeah.
they connect with that energy, and then it's like a sponge. It absorbs all that energy that's attracted to that, And you might say to yourself, and I'm going to say this to you, I'm going to say it like I'm you, because I feel it in you, there's two parts of Stacy. There's the part of Stacy that's the younger part of Stacy that's about 8 years younger than she is right now. Then there's this part of Stacy that finds herself where she's at and is looking into her future. All right. But the energy of Stacy is still lingering back in this 8 years before where you're at right now. It's still kind of, it's still there. It still influences your energy. Okay.
Uh-huh.
These guys that are attracted to you are attracted to this part of you, to this part of you that used to be you. Okay.
Uh-huh.
You're here now and you're going over there, and they're still over here, attracted to that part of you.
Uh-huh.
And you want somebody who's attracted to this part of you, who has a vision like you do where you're going, right? Okay. That we're going to let your guides talk to you about this, because this is what's going on with you, and they're going to further this, and here they go.
It has to do with listening to your intuition. How long does it take for you to realize someone is not right for you? And what are the first signs you see?
Huh.
What is it they said? What is it they all said that just made you know?
I'm not sure. I think I'm looking in the wrong place.
Expand on that.
I don't know. I think I'm not sure.
Let's let them talk to her then. She's trying to get this.
Do you have the list of requirements they must meet?
No, I think I'm ignoring what I know to be true. Or I think I am resisting what I know I need.
Example. You say one thing that's an example of that.
I always am attracted to younger men, and yet they are mostly more immature, and that's why they're not getting it, and we're not on the same page. But I can't seem to I don't know. I can't find my way.
Here you go.
I don't know.
Bring him back to me.
We want you to take a look at yourself and the things you love to do. Write them all down.
Okay.
Now, start going to places that you love. If you like music, go to concerts. If you like art, go to museums. If you like sports, go to the nearest sporting events. Chances are you will meet other people just like you. And
Yeah.
that's a start.
Yeah, that's so simple. I should have thought of that already.
That's why you come and see us. It's when it's your life, it's not simple.
No.
We fog it up. You know, doubt is what gets in the way of your intuition. It mucks it all up. It mucks up our clarity. It mucks up our ability to see what's right in front of us. Whatever you do, Stacy, I don't know if you have My Guided Journey. It's free web download on my website. Get it. In part 2, in part 2 is the journey, but in part 3, you need to start writing things down like what just came through. Write it in there and date it and keep it going. It's going to get you cleared up in no time.
Okay.
The doubt that you've had and the confusion that you've had and this old energy that lingers, that's back there, that's younger. I was talking about 8 years younger. That is you're going to be okay with. You can still have that energy, by the way. It's a great energy. It's who you are. But you're not going to let that energy just be the primary energy that pulls in those potential mates, you know. You're going to know that energy is pretty dominant in you, and you're going to have your eye out for it, because that energy will not support you where you are and where you're going. It won't. It'll be an added value to anybody in your life where you are and where you're going. But to pick up someone with that energy from a younger place where they're younger too, and they don't meet you where you're at and where you're going, is a waste of your time. It will continue.
Yeah, so it's like an incongruency. My energy that's most dominant is inconsistent with where I want to go.
Exactly. That's right. But having this session, just what you got so far tonight, is a huge step forward for you. You see what it is. You've identified what that is. You know?
Yes.
Once you start writing things down, regardless of what it is, whether you think it's guidance or not, it's important. You got to start writing your thoughts down, because after about a month, you'll see the dots are starting to connect.
Right.
You'll get some of the same things a lot of times, and it'll dawn on you, oh, that must be guidance.
That's right. So what Ray is saying is, when you're writing in part 3 and you're writing down what happened that day, or what you think was your thought about something, and you write it in there, you keep writing and you just keep writing. You become a pretty good writer because you're writing a lot more than you ever used to. When you refer back to it and you look back through your notes and you look back through what you wrote, you go, oh my God, I don't remember even thinking that. And you, in that one little sentence or paragraph, you recognize it as guidance. I mean, straight from the source, okay, from your guides. And what you do when you spot that, it's called, they're infiltrating your writing. It's called automatic writing, is what it's called. And you're writing, and then all of a sudden, something showed up here. You're going, wow. And then there you are writing again, and then you turn the page and, oh, well, there's another. Where did that come from? And you highlight it. You get your highlighter out and you highlight those areas that you don't recognize, because that was your guide speaking to you, through you, while you were doing your writing.
Okay.
It's very cool, you guys. And you're going to see a lot more of that. You're going to be so glad you started doing this, okay?
Okay, I will start to do that.
Yeah. So,
And this relationship issue that everybody in the world seems to have, people approach their relationships the wrong way. I think they have a list. Let's go back to the cat analogy. You want to go get a cat. I want a purebred cat. I want a Siamese cat. I want a female cat. I want it to be this color. I want, and this beat up old tomcat shows up at your front door. And it's the perfect cat for you.
yeah, in other words, what's going to happen, Stacy, is who you are guided to meet, who comes into your life divinely, a match, all right, may not look like what you would have picked for yourself, okay?
Okay.
So you got to keep your mind open for that. That's why you got to write it all down. You got to tell yourself what's going on with yourself, because you by yourself picking it out of context, out of the ethers, and going, oh yeah, I remember that, and oh well yeah, I forgot that, and your life will always be a scattered mess. This will make sense of it, organize it, and reflect it back at you, so you can finally go, oh,
Yeah, okay. I will start doing that. And
about my guided journey, my free download on my website, right?
I will find it.
Okay, it's on the feed. Ray put in the chat. Ray put the links to each one of these things. Yeah.
Yep.
And you can,
Okay, thank you so much.
You have to remember, Stacy, that you are vibrating at a certain frequency. And it
Yes.
changes. It gets high, it gets low, but you're only going to attract somebody who's in a pretty even frequency range. If you're vibrating way up here, you're not going to attract people that are vibrating way down here. You're going to attract somebody up here.
but if you do attract somebody that's coming from down here, you're going to recognize it as a non-fit. It just doesn't even fit.
A misfit.
Yeah. Misfit. That's a good one. Yeah. Misfit. And we've had plenty of those, huh, Stacy?
Yeah.
But you insisted on picking them anyhow.
Absolutely. Bring them on.
I'm going to fix him. Going to fix it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else do we have? Stacy, stay with us. We love having you.
Yep.
We're here every Tuesday. Go ahead.
Just when we were talking about cats, Teresa said she just got an email from
Her
Amazon.
Amazon order came
Cat
in.
tunnel came in.
Her new cat tunnel.
Yeah.
Does she have a kitty cat?
I just had to throw that in.
How many cats do you have?
I have one. I was gonna put her in front of the
Get her.
camera, but she's sleeping. I can't do
Oh,
that.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Never try to wake up a sleeping cat.
I know, and she was running around crazy right before the
Oh.
webinar, so she's mellow. You'll leave her that way.
So, Teresa, what do you have a question about?
And I'm racking my brain trying to, because I'm always full of questions, but I'm like, how does it pertain to the theme?
Yeah.
I want to have it pertain to the theme. I think my biggest doubt right now, Linda, is, and it has to do with the session we had a couple months ago,
Okay.
around career and around the whole, right now the VO stuff is ramping up. For people who don't know, I'm doing voiceover training. And so I'm in coaching right now for that and creating the demo, that phase. In fact, coaching is it tomorrow? 2 days from now. And yeah, it's my second coaching. I switched coaches. Anyway, long story short, it doesn't, just thrill me and move me. And I know you spoke about writing, which I love to do. I think I'm just impatient, but I'm also really overwhelmed. I have so much going on right now. With summer starting, I'm focusing on like my home. And I'm loving it. I'm doing my yard work. It feels meditative.
Oh.
I kind of want to take a break from, not from you guys. I mean, like, there's
I know
all
what
these
you're saying.
webinars. There's all these videos to connect with that are metaphysical or career-oriented or what have you. And I was thinking, God, I'm doing all of these videos all the time, plus trying to be a mom, plus trying to work, plus, mix and match and have a balance.
Right.
So I think my doubt is around the timing of it all. I mean, I wonder what my guides would have to say about that, because I'm like, should I be doing things faster or more? Or,
I think you're doing a lot already. You do too. So
yeah, I do.
yeah. So Teresa, your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, and they're going to tell you what they see, okay? And bring some,
Okay.
get the doubt out of your head and the intuition back and the balance back in your life. And here they go.
We don't really understand how wanting to get many things done and being impatient fit together. You said you were impatient. That means in a hurry. Everybody seems to be in a hurry. But why are they in a hurry? What are they hurrying toward? Or maybe they are hurrying to get away from something. The only person who should be in a hurry is a race car driver. They are in a hurry to get to the finish line. The faster they go, the sooner they get there. Do you really want to speed up your life so fast that you finish earlier than you would have?
Mm-hmm.
What they're asking you to do is think about, it's being in a hurry is not the point. It's moving in the right direction is the point, right? So you feel like you need a break. Here's what I'm hearing you do, Teresa, is you feel is the key word, feel. That's your truth center. That never lies to you. When you feel like you need a break, why are you arguing with that?
Well, I think part of it is there is a time element with the voiceover stuff. There's a time element to, being prepared. Well, I think I mentioned in our session that I was looking at, child support ending. Well, it ended a whole lot sooner than I thought when my son's father died. So, I mean, I hate to laugh, but I always kind of joke about these things, but all of a sudden I'm like, oh, crap. Okay. So I just kind of, and I'm always like shifting gears and scrambling, and I'm good at that.
Yeah.
But it can be tiring. And I know I've had I could just practically feel the adrenals deplete, over the last 15 years. So now I'm enjoying that there's more and more, there's more space. There are Social Security survivor benefits. Thank you, universe. So that's great. And I think I mentioned in one of the live FB lives that I had dropped a day of work, which has been huge.
Right.
So, but one thing I'm noticing is it's almost like this little knee jerk, no, I'm not going to do that. Like not working out as much. I'm working out a little bit, not meditating when I used to do it every day. Then again, I'm doing my yard work, which is kind of meditative.
Right.
And I'm enjoying that. So just throwing this all around my head, going, and even the journal writing. I keep a synchronicity journal. I keep a gratitude journal. I've always done that. Or I'll describe signs that I see in my life, or, things that have happened in my life. Maybe even sharing them online, but I'm not putting them in my guided journey. So I'm like, it's just, I'm trying to do.
Okay, here's what I'm getting for you. You either give yourself the break that you need, or you only give yourself a little bit of the break you need, and then you argue with yourself the rest of the time. Okay, so that you torment yourself instead of giving yourself the break that you really need. If you need a break, then you need a break. Then take a break. It means break, move this over here, and do this over there. Don't think about I should be and I got to get this done. And if you interface that conflict and doubt, okay, with this part of you that's trying to come to life. It's trying, the healthy part of you that's been holding its breath for 15 years because finally your ex-husband and all your in-laws who were so awful to you are finally lifted from you, okay, and from your son. Now you can finally breathe for the first time. You really need, I'm going to say this to you, Teresa, you really need to give yourself that, okay? And you might want to give yourself a summer of that.
It's so funny. I can't believe you said that.
The summer of 2018 was the summer that you got yourself back.
Right before this session right now, I was thinking, I need the summer off. That's so funny.
Then what? This is confirmation, okay? That's what this is. So you give yourself, this is the summer, okay, the journal, My Guided Journey in part 3. The summer of 2018 was the summer that Teresa took off and rediscovered herself after 15 years of torment.
Yeah.
And I know, Teresa, that you went through torment.
Yeah.
I know, no, it's not
So did
funny.
my son.
It's really
my
not.
son.
It's not funny for you or your son. And you both need, you just keep your budget tight. Stay focused on what don't spend a lot of money, to be frugal with this, and enjoy the summer with you and your son.
Yeah.
And you both need, how old is your son now?
15.
He
He's
needs to heal that too. Okay.
Oh,
you guys need this summer. You need this summer to do this. I need you to write this down in part 3 of My Guided Journey and date it for this session. So you don't cheat yourself. So you don't start to doubt yourself and start veering off all over the place again and start questioning yourself. Clear off the stuff you've got on your table right now. If there's a few things you've got to tie up, get them tied up. This is the summer of 2018 for you and your son, Teresa.
Yeah.
And here's an example of it. I'm going to drive it in. I didn't write. In fact, I didn't talk about this in Guided. But I experienced this. Is in 1998 I got a divorce, and it was 14 years of a sucky marriage, right? And I got out of it, and it was awful. I physically got sick for 6 months after I got the divorce. I just collapsed. All right. So I know what you're talking about, and I was going to go right back to work in real estate. And no matter what I did, I couldn't even get myself up out of bed. And I went, wow, you talk about guidance. I'm getting knocked on my butt here, So I had to give into it. It was awful. I hated it. I didn't have any financial problems.
Right, because you're driven. Yeah.
It was terrible. And I took what I did after the 6 months, after going through 6 months of not jumping back into stuff and stopping myself. I only then did I start to relax in it. It took me 6 months. Okay. That's what a slave driver I was to myself. Now, after I took those 6 months, I took an extra 5.5 years. Okay. I mean, I needed a break. I didn't need a break just from that marriage. I needed a break for my entire life. Okay. I really needed to lick my wounds and get myself back again. Then I met this friend who had a similar situation to me, but nothing like my early life. My early life was ridiculous, right?
Right.
And she came into money, and she took time off, but she kept cheating herself. She kept working on this and kind of working on it and getting frustrated and then going out and taking the weekend off and then going back and doing that for 4 more days and hating herself for it and just battling with herself, doubting herself, conflict after conflict. She never let herself be at peace like I did, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now what she did is she sold her house, she cashed in, she owned her house, she sold it, and she took all the money and she did what Linda did. She took the years off just to finally give herself the time off, completely give herself the time off, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All the time off, not cheat herself by going back over here and tormenting herself, but she really gave herself the time off.
Mm-hmm.
She watched me. She never said what she learned, but that's what she did. She admired it so much. She went that far to experience it for herself.
That's great.
Yeah.
Question
Yep.
from the peanut gallery here.
So I only have one more thing.
Okay.
This is why you have to go all in. You can't fool around over here and keep kidding yourself and punishing yourself and beating yourself up and then coming over here on a weekend and spending it with your son. He's going to know that's bogus, all right?
Yeah.
You've got to go all in, Nicole, and cut this stuff out and go through the torment of not going back into that and releasing it so that you can get healthy again. I'm just telling you, it's not going to be easy. Everyone that would watch you would go, you have it so easy, Teresa. I wish I could do that. They have no idea what that feels like, what you're really going through. So, great. Go ahead.
Okay. I have a question for Teresa and the answers for the entire group. When you started laughing that just before the session, you were thinking about taking the summer off, right?
Right.
Okay. And then Linda says, take the summer off.
Yeah.
When you heard it, before you heard it from Linda, did you think that was guidance?
Yeah. Yeah, I always, whenever I have,
Did you write it down? Did you write it down in here?
No, that's what I have to do.
Oh my gosh. So you guys, let's learn with Teresa that it slips away and then we start going back into that pain and doubt again.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And I'll tell you, part of that is, that's what I was saying when I was starting to mention all the, stuff going on, is that the meditation or the working out or the things that I really, writing in the journal, right? Things like that. Instead I'm doing, X, Y, or Z and kind of more, I feel more scrambled and scattered. And part of it, I think, is
you are.
Yeah. And dealing with some guilt around that too. Like
you're anticipating, you're thinking about this, but you're still going, oh, I gotta, do all this. You're still tormenting yourself.
Right.
You know why you're doing it?
Part of it is guilt. That I should be.
Right. Okay. That will never, that doesn't work, right? Though.
Yes. Okay. Logically, of course.
Okay. So. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to be an extremely determined parent with Teresa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your parent needs to write this stuff down in there. So Teresa.
Okay.
Teresa needs reinforcement, Teresa can look back in there and go, oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to stay true to myself here we may not, we're going to have to be frugal with our money and stuff like that, but we're going to be fine. We need this, you and your son need this time more than you need all this other stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm fairly frugal anyway. I have been buying things that pertain to the home, which is great. I needed a ladder, things like that. Needed a, variety of ladders actually, because I'm so short. But there are things that are practical, and I have I feel very
make a decision.
Stable, trusting of my financial situation. I never feel like, oh my God. I used to. I don't anymore. So
just make a decision, Teresa. A decision that's a commitment.
Yeah.
Write it in here, okay? And I want you to even draw. I want you to draw a beautiful sky with the sun and the summer of 2018.
Oh, I love it.
I want you to do that with you and your son in that picture.
Yeah.
And I want you to not let yourself down and let your son down. Don't you do that.
Okay.
And the lesson everybody learned, a silly 2 words or 3 words. Take the summer off. Take summer off. And you just kind of blew by it. And then an hour later, somebody else tells you, take the summer off.
I know.
How many times do you have to hear it before, one, you realize it's guidance, and 2, you're going to do it?
Well, she knew it was guidance. It's just that she didn't write it down, so it turns into doubt, and she'd start
kind of floats.
a
Right.
final thought, a final communication from your guides about wrapping this all up. So you stay true to yourself on this, Teresa, and here they go.
Okay.
Now that you understand what guidance sounds like, it is important you realize that it has a shelf life.
Mm.
You must act on it before it gets stale.
Mm.
That would be right now.
It's great. I have to hurry to slow down. I like that.
Slow down.
Do it now. Slow down now. I like that.
Nicole,
Thank
Teresa,
all right, Teresa.
stay with us. Stay with us. Watch what goes on the rest of the night, okay? And
I will.
We would love to have you on Tuesdays, but not if it's going to interfere with this summer that you guys are going to have together. We want
Okay, maybe in the fall, right?
I know.
We'll see you in the
In the
fall.
fall,
But-
right. But we're here. We're here for you.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you. And I have to start doing dinner stuff, but I'm going to keep you guys on, so I might turn my video off so you're not, unless you want to see the background.
Oh no, we
Yeah,
love that.
we can just turn your mic off.
Yeah, just if you want to
Okay.
pop back on, that way it's you're there.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great,
All right,
Teresa.
love ya. Okay, Janine. I see Janine's like they're chomping at the bit to tell us something.
All right. Hi, Janine. How beautiful.
Hi.
So where are you, Janine? What part of-
Aren't you in Los Angeles?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Oh, in Houston,
Houston.
Texas. I'm
Yeah.
from Texas, darling.
All right.
I'm from Austin.
Okay. Keep Austin weird.
Keep Austin weird.
Yeah. Love it. Love Austin.
You ever see that T-shirt they have in Texas? It's got the state of Texas like a map. It's got a big star in the middle. And it says, Austin, what those other Texas cities had in mind.
I don't know. Dallas is pretty good.
Yeah, well,
Or is
Houston.
she's in Dallas, right?
She's in Houston,
Oh,
right?
Houston.
I'm in Houston. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
transplanted to Houston. So it's not home, but I've been here for 8 years. So
I used to go to Houston all the time. In fact, I used to, when I was in the high-tech business, I used to go over and see Compact, and they used to call me up in the morning and say, hey, can you make a 1 o'clock meeting here? And so I'd jump in the car and just drive over in 3 hours.
exactly. Isn't that the coolest thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Janine. What do we have with
What
Janine?
revelations or what have you learned tonight?
Wow. Well, that the journaling I'm doing is good, and the time that I'm taking to reflect on the guidance that I'm getting is good. You started off talking about doubt, and I thought that was interesting because today a little doubt creeped in for me because I've been married for 25 years, but I was really thinking that this wasn't where I was supposed to be anymore. And I kind of had made up my mind and that I just needed to just create a new life for myself. But my father-in-law passed away yesterday. So then my husband and I started reconnecting, and so that made me kind of doubt then that maybe this wasn't where I was supposed to be, which I mean he's not I don't know, he's not a bad person and he's not a horrible person, and but it's I don't know if I'm just dramatic and just demanding. I don't know. So and maybe this is what happens after 25 years too. I have no idea.
You know, until you get there, you don't know that. It's the first time you've been there for 25 years in America, right?
We've been, Linda and I have been married for over 40 years.
Just not to each other.
So you got experience, right? So I'm like, is this where I stop and start anew, or do I keep going? Or,
5 years and then 20. And then,
So let's let her. This is it doubt, or is it doubt upon doubt? That's what I feel with you.
okay.
Is it's more like doubt, now it's more doubt on top of doubt, and we're the doubt.
because it's like this, right? And the relationship is, and so I'm like, is this just normal and you're overreacting, or is this some sign that, you know, there's another segment to my life? I don't know.
That you're being called toward. So let's see what your guides.
Okay.
Guides know.
Okay.
Your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, Janine, and they're going to clear this up for you. All right, and here they go.
Remember, we said that doubt is something that is triggered internally and not externally. The fears are triggered from the external sources. The doubt is triggered from many things, like second guessing yourself or procrastinating over something. When you doubt, you tend to put off decision making. You justify it by telling yourself that you need more time or more information before you can make a decision, when really you are just allowing the doubt to turn into fear.
Okay, what is the direction that you're trying to point Janine into? Where is it you're guiding her to go? Here they go.
Okay.
Each time you have a doubt or receive guidance, you must write it down so it becomes something of this world. Then you can look at it from afar and be more objective about your future decision making.
Okay, that is so critical. That is, you're at a point in your life right now, Janine, where you need answers. You need to know that the decision you make is the right decision.
Right.
Do you have this? My Guided Journey?
I don't. I just have a journal that I use and I write.
Okay. This is available on my website. You don't have to use this, but this is the best one. This is really good. And what's good about this is there's two parts to it. Part 2 is taking the journey, and part 3 is the journal writing. So there's 2 parts to it. You take the journey, and on each page of the journey, page 1 through 18, Ray and I did a video on each one of those pages to help you guys go back to the beginning of your life and reconstruct what happened back there, okay? And when you're done taking the journey, you're going to look at your journey. You've got to watch the video associated with each page of part 2 before you write in there. Otherwise, you're going to be doing it from the wrong mindset. I'm telling you. And you want to watch the video. It gives you instructions on where to go in the journal. It's a free download on my website, lindadeir.com. D-E-I-R, Linda Deir.
Mhm.
Go on the homepage and you're going to see it there. Download it, print it out, and it's going to show you. It's constructed in such a way. It's brilliant, is what this is. In fact, this will be published on Amazon in the next month.
Okay.
This is the work in progress version. That it's been a work in progress for a year and a half, and until I was finished, Ray and I were finished with this work in progress with all of you, with the early adopters of My Guided Journey. Did we go into publishing it because we wanted to flush everything out to make sure it was completed, Yeah. And it's an intense piece. So it's not just a journal. This is a workbook, And you need to make sure, 25 years, you need to make sure that you're making the right decision,
Yes.
And you're being fair with the situation. Now, here's another thing about it. Let's say that your premonition that the relationship is over. I mean, that that's it. 25 years, I'm done. If you decide that's it, what do? How do you go about moving on from here and handle this situation right? You're not going to know it until you write it in here. You've got to know where you're going, and so that you don't hurt the people that don't deserve to be hurt, and you handle the situation right. So you may not get out. It may not be a relationship that needs to be, disposed of. It may be a relationship that's seen as better days. But you got to write it all down so that you see the progress. And they could give you information like, is this relationship destined to fail? Okay, something like that. You could ask a question like that, and they'd answer you. But it's not even a failure. It's a process. It's a journey. These are things we needed to be in. He was perfect for you, and it was perfect. You guys got to learn all this stuff together, and you were as kind to each other as you could possibly be with another person. Could you find that with someone else? Is what you need to do. I'm going to throw a bunch of stuff at you so that you get why you need to do this. It's important, and start now. What if all you need to do, after all your revelations that you write in here and you begin to see, what if all you need to do is take a break? You need, like Teresa was talking, she needs to take the summer of 2018.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. What if that was the fix?
Right. And and no matter what, if you were just to take some break like that and tell your husband, I love you, but that our relationship is 25 years. We've been together a long time. And we both need to take a look at this. Right?
Yes, I agree.
And the way I can love you, the best way I can love you, you say to him, the best way I can love you is to give you the time off like I'm going to take, and we can both breathe, and we know we're okay, and we haven't deserted each other or hurt each other or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Let's let your guys give their final thoughts on what we all just talked about here, Janine.
Okay.
We want to warn you about one thing. When you start looking at this process, you will allow yourself to feel guilty. That is wrong.
Mhm.
You cannot allow guilt to influence your decisions at this point.
Okay. And know that that's your Achilles heel. That's your weak spot. Okay?
Got it. Yes.
And you get your journal in part 3, and you write in there guilt in great big words. Caution, guilt. Janine, don't go there. And that's Janine. That's why you need to take 3 months out, or or 6 months out, you and your husband both, that you both need to do it. And he probably has guilt too, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not, you can't be with somebody or be in any situation because of guilt.
Right.
What that leads you both into is a life of regret.
Yes.
So what you want to do is you want to get real with this, honest with this. 25 years, you are both blind. You can't see anything.
Yeah.
All right? And
Agreed.
until you can start breathing again, get a break from each other without threatening each other, without hurting each other, then we're going to want to see you back here.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And start working it. You know, get the journal. You're going to find the videos that are associated with this. This is unique. This is different than anything you've ever had before. So, and I don't know, Janine, if you know about my book, Guided.
Oh my God. I devoured that book on a road trip.
Did you leave Guided?
I might have
Did
been
you
coming
leave
back from
Guided
Dallas.
a review?
You said I leave a review?
Did you leave Guided a review?
I didn't. I'm not on Facebook. I'm the only person on the planet that's not on Facebook.
No, you don't.
No, just go to Amazon.
Go to Amazon.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go to
Did you
Amazon.
get it on Amazon or Audible, Janine?
Or Audible. Okay, I do both of those. Oh
Okay.
yeah, that book, start to finish.
Yeah.
I had to finish it. Like it was,
That's cool.
yeah, it was the best. Best.
You
Absolutely.
know,
You know my favorite part, Janine, of Guided? Where Linda meets me and lives happily ever after.
I love it. Right.
I know.
She meets her prince.
You know, Janine,
Exactly.
we're here on Tuesdays. We want to hear back from you, how you're doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to let you know because I've been on this journey, and I would say it started probably like in February, and I've just been journaling and writing and meditating, and you know, I was good until my father-in-law passed yesterday, and then it was like,
Just
that kind of shook things up in a way I wasn't expecting. It was just unexpected. So
let it ride out. Let your
Yeah.
husband work through that grieving process a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
take your time, put your thoughts together, get the journal and
Yes.
write, start doing your writing so that when it's time to talk with him about this and move through this and start giving you both of you the breathing you need, the break you need, then he won't be consumed with all this stuff right now, you know.
right.
It might take a month or two, you know,
Yeah.
but it'll be okay, you know.
Yeah, timing is everything, I think.
Yeah. So leave your wonderful review for Guided. We're going to be looking for it.
Yeah, I sure will.
Thank you, Janine. And come back. We're gonna want to hear
Oh,
how
yeah.
you're doing. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
And
For sure.
checking in with your guides. They're going to tell you what they see. Always tell you the truth.
Yes, and I have my talking board too.
That's right. You have a talking board.
And are
Yeah.
you coming on Thursday? We have our live event on Thursday, this Thursday.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it's on Facebook, so you're not on Facebook. No, we're doing it on Zoom.
We're doing it on Zoom.
Yeah, we're doing it on Zoom.
Okay.
So,
So you'll send an email, right? I'm sure.
well,
about Thursday?
well, see, here's the problem with that, Ray.
You have to be in the group.
You have to be in the group. Okay, but here's what we're going to need to do. We're going to need to put that list together that you have and announce it through there for the people who are not on Facebook.
Okay.
Okay? We're going to work that out, Janine.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to get a handle on that. We're kind of revamping things a little bit here to accommodate people who are not on Facebook. There's a lot of people who are not on Facebook, you know?
Feel better then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not-
There's a
yeah.
lot. So we're not missing you guys that are not on Facebook, but the people who are on Facebook, we're not neglecting them either. They can
Yeah, yeah.
reach us this way, you know? Yeah.
So we'll get the link out to everybody who has a,
Yeah, we will. We'll get it out to you. Yeah.
I'll be looking for that.
Great, Janine.
and that's every other Thursday.
Every other Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, every other. Okay.
On Zoom, just like you're doing here.
Yep.
Got it.
Great.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Let's see who's still with us. Stacy's there. She hasn't fallen asleep yet.
Nope, not yet.
No, Bridget was there, but
She's
I think she slipped off
she's
the
getting
chair.
some tea.
Oh, she's getting her tea.
There's Bridget. Okay. There
Hold
we
on.
go. Bridget. Let's bring Bridget on, right, Ray?
Yep.
Okay.
Oops. Unmute. There we are. Can you hear us, Bridget?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we thought maybe you fell asleep there.
Oh, I was gonna start making dinner, but
Oh, good. What time will it be done? So
I wasn't sure.
what's new at Bridget?
Right. Well,
When are you
well,
moving?
I went to a job interview today.
All right.
I don't know. They said they would decide next Monday, and
Good.
I got I don't know. I'm not like psyched about it,
You're not psyched about it?
even though I should be happy that I had a job interview.
Yeah, yeah. Just
So-
don't overthink it. Let's let her
Yeah,
guides,
no.
let's let her guides talk to her. They know what you're going through, and they're gonna. Your spirit guides and angels are here with this now, Bridget, and they're just gonna open it up and tell you. Just talk to you. Here they go.
It's one of those times in life that are very stressful because there is a lot of doubt involved. Anytime you are looking for another job, there are all kinds of doubts. Did I do well on the interview? Did they like me? What is it I could have done better? Am I not good enough or smart enough for the job? All these doubts come creeping in and will drive you crazy if you let them. When they pile up over a long period of time and you are out of work for a long time, the doubts become fears.
Right, right, right. So you're when you get over this, when you move through this, you're going to leave a lot of that residue, that doubt, that fear, that insecure feeling behind, because it's been a while. How long has it been since you've been employed?
10 years.
Well, that's a long ass time.
But I was in graduate school for part of that time. I don't know if that counts.
And you were wandering around France a lot of that
And
time.
that
I
was-
was definitely, I've been wandering, and I've had a long rest.
Yeah, that's really good. That's important. Okay. That's what a lot of people never have a chance to do, Bridget.
Yeah.
And you've got it, man, that has been so healing for you.
I needed it.
I believe you. Yeah.
It's like those 6 months that Linda took off after she got divorced that turned into 6 years. And then somebody came along and ruined your fun after 6 years.
You didn't ruin my
Interrupted your bliss.
No, I was ready for you. It took me 6 years to get ready for you, Ray.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, a big blast of Ray, you know? What was I going to do? I had to get prepared, right, you guys? Anyway,
Get ready up, ready for Freddie.
so
I'm gonna just, I'm just gonna, I have for the next week, I have to think about moving, so.
that's
Well,
right.
You're moving upstairs, right?
But you know what? You don't have to think about it.
No.
It's already been decided. In fact, your guides came in and supercharged it, remember?
Oh,
Do you
yes, yes.
Okay, yep,
Well,
I
it's
remember
kind
that.
of funny to go out and buy a bed and, think about other things I need when I don't have a job, okay?
Well, quit thinking about what you don't have.
So I'm just gonna think about packing, tomorrow I'm gonna start packing boxes and.
And you know what? It's not thinking about it. I'm going to say that the word thinking about it is you're doing it. You're not thinking about it. Okay.
Right.
It's like somebody saying, I'm trying. Well, no one's really trying to do anything. You're doing something. It's not trying, it's doing. Okay, so
Yes.
get rid of the thinking about and the trying and all that, and you're doing. You are doing, and you're going to get a position that makes some sense for you. That's going to pull you through this 10-year break you had and start acclimating you back into the real world. You know,
Yeah.
that's all you need to do, Bridget. It's a reintroduction, you know, back into the world. In a way that suits you, better than it has in the past. It may not be the first job you have that suits you that well, but the first job is the stepping stone to move you into it. It's energy.
Yeah.
Breathe, Bridget.
Okay.
You have to breathe. You have to really let yourself breathe. When you're moving and you're packing your stuff, take that moment to breathe, and make yourself do that. If you have to go out and pace yourself and walk real fast to get yourself breathing,
Right.
because in the beginning, to stand there and just breathe may seem kind of silly to you. So if you get out there and you move yourself where your blood is moving, you know, your heart rate is moving, you're going to be forced to breathe. And when you do that, your head is going to lighten.
Right. You know, you're going through two of the very stressful things at the same time.
Right.
Moving is
Right.
very stressful.
Right.
And looking for a new job
Right.
is stressful.
Right, exactly. So don't be hard on yourself,
Right.
but take care of yourself. Take that brisk walk and breathe.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
You are not alone and always being guided, Bridget.
That's it.
Okay? And we're here on Tuesdays too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks like a lot of people went home here. Let's see. Janine, Nicole. Teresa's hanging in there.
Teresa. All right. All right. So are we about?
That's it.
We're going to
I
wrap
think
this
we're
up.
going to wrap this up.
Okay, we are, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce what we're doing next week before the closing message from the guides from today's event. All right. And Tuesday, next week, June 12th, watch or interact with us right here on Zoom. In Linda's Weekly Guided Insight, you will receive the link to join, as well as my Facebook page at Linda Deir Author. Talk to your guides, to us, and to the group, 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. The guides will be talking about your mind is a minefield riddled with conflicts. This will be published next Tuesday morning in Linda's Weekly Guided Insights. All right, let me get to that. Like a landmine, primed and ready to go off, people are under so much pressure, it's setting them off. Their mind is laden with negative thoughts, explosive emotions, and false beliefs that they have difficulty controlling. None of these false programs running in your subconscious mind are productive in any way, especially when you are on a spiritual path.
That's great. My mind field sometimes
Does.
like somebody's going to step on it and it's just going to blow.
Well, you know, what they're really talking about is in the world today, we're seeing all kinds of explosive things going on. I mean, faster than ever, and in the most unlikely places with the most unlikely people. So it's not something to get caught up in. If you watch the news, keep it to a minimum, because it's just, you know, reeking with all that negativity, and it begins to feel like reality. And it doesn't have to be your reality. Your reality is a peaceful place. Your reality is a place that you occupy. It's how you manage yourself, okay? And yeah, there's these things going on out in the world. they're breaking points. They're people can't take it anymore. Neglect. It's lack of love. It's lack of supporting each other, and it's beginning to catch up. It's been going on for decades in people's lives, and they're just now, the people that are spinning out of control, they're just now beginning to lose it. So you want to make sure that you take extra good care of yourself. That's again where my guided journey on my website, lindadeir.com, free download. Get that, because it walks you through how to keep yourself together, how to recover what's been broken from your own past and see it for what it is, and come to your own realizations about what the guidance is that's moving you in a direction that makes some sense, not the reactionary world that surrounds you. Okay, that's not going to get you where you want to go. It's not the reason you came here. It's not the life you intended to live when you came here. So you've got to get back to you. You've got to be even more true to yourself. And all this chaos that's going on, it just means that the energy of the planet is beginning to increase even more. And people who have not healed their past are having negative reactions to it. So how do you deal with it? You go back there and you do the work in part 2. Take the journey in my guided journey, and you figure out what that is, so it doesn't torment you. It helps you understand it, and it gives you your life back. It restores your life. All right. So we're going to let the guides close the session on what we did today, which was, help me out, Ray.
It's fear and doubt.
Doubt knocks out intuition. And they're going to close the session, and here they go.
We want to remind you that the fear is all externally triggered, while doubt is triggered internally by you. How do you get away from the fear? That's the easiest. You move. You get out of its way. You turn your television off. Stop reading the news. Stop worrying about the weather. If you do this for 30 days, you will see how much less fear you have in your life. How do you get away from the doubt? By writing things down and examining them, and then deciding whether they have value in your life or not.
It comes back to this. You've got to start writing these things down. The days are gone where we live an unconscious life. When you take this action and you start writing down what's going on with you throughout your day, throughout your life, you're no longer living an unconscious life. You're living a conscious life. You are present. That's what this does.
That's it.
All right, you guys, next week, we'll see you guys.
Same time, same place.
Tuesday. And for those of you who have a talking board of ours, Ask the Universal channel, we're going to be live this week, on Zoom, Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern on Ask the Universal channel group. So we'll see you there.
All right.
All right, you guys.
Bye-bye.
Good night.